Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome to Happy Hour. Delighted to be with you. Delighted to receive your greetings. Really, at the beginning, it always makes me feel connected to this international sangha from so many different parts of the world. So, for this evening, I wanted to invite us to engage with compassion practice. It seems like it's the right medicine for this week. What is happening in the world, what is happening geopolitically, and also what is happening very likely for ourselves, and also with people perhaps we know. So compassion, you can never have enough compassion, never enough compassion. And as the Dalai Lama said, compassion is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's a necessity for us humans to survive, for us to survive. It's not a luxury. So with that, yeah, I don't think there's much more that I want to say to frame it, but to say that please, you're invited to practice compassion wherever you are called for in this session. There might be a lot of physical pain right now where you're sitting, practicing. There might be heartache in your heart, or there might be care and deep care for people who are in very, very painful, difficult situations, extremely painful, difficult situations elsewhere in the world. Our sisters, our brothers, our siblings in humanity, we're not so different. And maybe that's where your heart goes, to hold them with compassion and good wishes. So let us engage. Let us begin. Let's begin by arriving. Arriving. Take a moment to arrive in your body, in this moment in time. In this seated posture, take time to arrive. The preliminaries are important. How are you sitting? If you're sitting in a chair, are your feet, the bottom of your feet, touching the earth? Are you sitting comfortably? Is your back straight? Are your shoulders rolled back, sitting with a sense of integrity, dignity, as well as comfort? Is your body relaxed? Is there extra holding and tightness where there is no need for it? Can you relax your body, especially if there is pain, physical pain present? We often tighten up around the pain, or around emotional pain, we tighten up. Can you invite your body, your dear precious body, to relax in this moment? Relax, relax, relax. Relax and just be breathed. Nothing needed, nothing extra. Relax and let the body be breathed, because it knows how to do this, knows how to breathe. And awareness simply receiving the breath. The sensations of the breath in the belly are being received on their own. You don't have to add much effort on top of what's already happening. Let each breath, especially each out breath, be more and more relaxing, letting go of expectations, of thoughts, and just be present, sinking more deeply, allowing preoccupations to be put down, to be released for just this moment of respite, deeply needed. And we put it all down in this moment, just for a moment. We can pick it up later. But first, we need to establish the ground, the stability of the heart. Intimacy with this breath. And can we imagine that each out breath is releasing, calming, soothing, bringing comfort and succor to this body, to this heart and mind. Every out breath As if the out breath is soothing, calming, massaging, wrapping a blanket of care around yourself. And the in breath is gathering any acknowledgement of discomfort, pain, not so much thinking about it, but it's automatically happening. As if the pain in the heart and the body is being collected and transformed in the heart center, and breathed out as comfort and succor, nourishing yourself with each breath. And if it feels like too much, both think about the in breath, collecting the challenges and being transformed, in the out breath, breathing out succor, comfort, compassion. And let go of the in breath part and just consider the out breath is soothing, comforting, bringing calm, care to pain and sorrow. And now, if you like, you can extend, and expand this circle of compassion to include a few people in areas of the world that are suffering right now. Include them in your mind, in your heart, as if your out breath is bringing them care, succor, while they're afraid, grieving, suffering. There are human beings just like me, just as I wish to be happy. I wish you happiness and freedom from sorrow and suffering, just as I wish it for myself. You can include all of you in your practice. Include yourself and others in a challenged area in our world right now. Just as I wish to be, free from sorrow, free from pain. I wish you, fellow human beings, I wish you freedom from sorrow and pain. May you have ease as much as possible in the midst of this difficulty. As if with each out breath, you were putting a blanket of care around people you don't know. But it doesn't matter. We're all related. We're all part of the human family. You could have been born as them. They could have been born as you. And now, for the last few minutes of this practice, let your heart be drawn to wherever it's drawn to the most for the compassion practice. Maybe someone you know who's grieving, someone you don't know, yourself, your body, your heart, wherever you're drawn. Breathing out compassion and succor, care. Offering your wishes for well-being without attachment, but as a gift to the world, to yourself, to non-violence, to more love and compassion in the world, training our hearts and minds to care. And in the last minute of this practice period, offering compassion to yourself for however this practice period was, whether it was sleepy or distracted, doesn't matter. Offer care and compassion that you showed up. You've done your best. and letting go of the rest. May our practice be a cause and condition for wisdom, for compassion in our world. May all beings be free, including ourselves. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your practice. So, the practice of compassion, meeting sorrow and suffering with care, with kindness. And tonight, the way I led it is we started with ourselves and then we brought in others. And also another thing to note is for those of you who know what Tonglen practice is, breathing in suffering, breathing out care, I offered that as one variation early on, but if it became too overwhelming, invited you to just lean into the out breath, bringing comfort and peace, meeting suffering. So just some nuances of tonight. So as we back everyone, and we have some time for any reflections. If you want to share them in chat is open, or also you can raise your hand. Hi, Amy, I see your hand, please.
Thank you so much. I've had a lot of aha moments when it comes to finding ways to elicit compassion for others deeply in hard moments of conflict. And one is like somatically, like you guys see me rocking here a lot. The rocking chair reminds me of holding a young child and rocking them and meeting them in their emotions, and the hand on the heart or a hug, and other pieces. And then another piece I've been doing is putting aside their story and trying to see the emotion that's under that I can relate to. And the part of them that probably started having that emotion when they were young. So defensiveness, or that comes out of fear or sadness. I can relate to that, and stopping my own need to be seen or validated in that moment, but instead seeing them. And then once I can deeply like see them for like, ouch, like they are in pain right now and they're relating it to me, or they're relating it to something. And we don't necessarily agree in that aspect, but that doesn't matter about that. What matters is that like they're this human experiencing a pain. And if I can see them, then usually their defenses can come down. And sometimes there's wise discernment for me to then share mine. And if there isn't, then I can go here or to another friend or someone who can, I can feel a congruence or an attunement or a validation or love, feel love from. But I feel like that's been a very big aha moment for me in how I try to meet conflicts.
Profound. Thank you, Amy. Thanks so much for sharing your aha moments. So much you shared here. Beautiful, both the somatic aspects of relating, as well as, because we all have bodies. So that's a doorway of somatic experiencing, or through the rocking or hand on the heart you mentioned. And also, as you said so beautifully, I was touched when you mentioned seeing not their what's happening on top, but what emotion is underneath, and how that perhaps came to be when they were younger, or the causes, the conditions. I think that's my words to bring the Buddhist terminology to that, but really getting in touch with that, and it and not overlaying your own perspective on it.
And how I can kind of relate to that pain for them, so that I can that can be the true compassion there. Like if it's oh, I could see how that would hurt, then that can elicit that true compassion. And
yes, I see how that would hurt. Exactly. If I were in their shoes, this would hurt. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Amy. Thanks so much. Ron.
Yeah, someone in our group mentioned something that really resonated, which was when we become so aware of so much suffering in so many areas, at times it can almost feel like it's exponentially growing and can start to feel almost hopeless in some way. But when we sort of turn inside to focus the compassion on our own suffering, it has a quality to it of, it's something that's doable and we have some control over. And B, it's also we're better at being compassionate and helpful to others when we've also turned that compassion onto ourselves and done that work.
Indeed. Well said. I'm so appreciating you sharing what came both for your practice and also in the small group. It sounds like you had a very, very juicy, wonderful conversation about the benefits of compassion, both turned inwards, how that can actually support it turning outwards and not veering into overwhelm, because the mind can get overwhelmed, but the heart, when it stays in the present moment, can always have hope. Can always have hope. Yeah. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Clark.
So I was starting out trying to envision like a family who is maybe outside being persecuted. And I was just like struggling to connect and trying to, anyway, then kind of to my surprise, a little ways into it, I had this very clear image of somebody on the other side who was doing the persecuting. And kind of like Amy said, seeing the pain of hurting another person and the bad karma of that, and then also all the causes and conditions and pain that would have led them up to that. And then I thought about that scene. I don't know who's seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, but there's a climactic scene where she puts a googly eye on her third eye, and instead of fighting all the other people, she uses this new power to see what needs they didn't get filled in their past life that are making them act the way they are now. And she creatively starts helping them fulfill these needs so that they don't want to be violent anymore. And it just made me think about the courageousness that you need to respond and creativity and to respond in the face of really intense suffering like that. And I just love that image of her putting the googly eye and this wind blows behind her and she stands there really strong. And then instead of fighting, she just embraces them all with compassion. And yeah.
Beautiful. Thanks for bringing this in, Clark. I've seen the movie and I'm getting chills as you bring that in to this moment, because yes, in the movie, she becomes the expression of the Buddha of compassion in that moment, and really seeing the cause and conditions and what does this person need they didn't get, and gives it to them. It's so sweet, actually. It's so sweet, and I'm so touched that you bring this in from your own practice of, oh yeah, this is what came up for you. This is what came up for you, instead of seeing someone who's being prosecuted and seeing their pain. Oh, it just flipped naturally, which is, ooh, beautiful. What an expansion of our heart to be able to go there on its own. That yes, this person who's causing pain is really, really hurt. I'm deeply touched by your practice report, as well as everyone who's shared tonight, Ron and Amy's too. Thank you all. Beautiful, deep practices. Thank you. Hmm. And one question is coming, Nikki, how to overcome belief that blocks compassion. This happened to me today. My belief about someone, events block compassion for me towards myself or others. So I would say that in order for me to answer that, I need more details, like what, because there are different things that block compassion. So actually, this is what I'll say. Okay, this is what I can say. I think what needs to happen is that when compassion gets blocked, you need to see with awareness, what is the belief that has blocked it? Is it that I don't deserve it? Is it that they don't deserve it? Is it that it's going to make them soft, me soft? Like, what is that belief that's blocking compassion? That compassion is too soft? I don't know. There are just so many beliefs. I can't go through all of it, but please, for yourself, see what is the belief that is causing that block. And then put a question mark next to it. Is that so? Is that so? Is that really so? Challenge it instead of just believing it. Because there's so many unhelpful beliefs that we can carry around, unexamined beliefs we can carry around that block compassion. So examine them. That's what I'm trying to tell the person who wrote me the private question in chat. You're welcome. So, thank you, dear ones. Thank you so much for your practice, for cultivating your hearts. I'm deeply, deeply touched with the reports tonight and just holding so many sides of this aching human family where we are in pain and we cause pain, and may we grow in love and compassion. May all beings everywhere be free from sorrow. May all beings everywhere be free, including ourselves. Thanks, everyone. Be well.